The sun beats down on the palace, and Lerial tries not to trudge as he makes his way out into the private south courtyard that has always served as the arms practice area for the family since the palace was completed some 10 years earlier. The north and south courtyards are the same size, half that of the main central courtyard with its multiple fountains and its walled gardens. The north courtyard has 2 fountains, making it cooler than the south courtyard, with its small single fountain, its paved open area for weapons practice, while the central courtyard boasts 4 fountains, spaced so that their mist cools the entire open space. The wooden wand Lerial carries feels heavier than the cupridium blade he will use once his father has decided he is accomplished enough to ride with the Lancers on patrol missions against either Heldian border forces or the nomadic raiders that occasionally make their way northward through the grasslands of Meroe. Lerial knows the heavy feel of the wand comes from what awaits him in sparring with Lephi, who is only 3 years older and not that much taller, but far more at ease with a weapon in his hand than is Lerial, whether the weapon is a saber or a bow or lance. Not that Lerial has had any practice with a lance, and little enough with a bow. "Are you ready?" asks Lephi from the sunlit center of the courtyard, where he stands waiting, rising the heavy wooden wand that approximates a lancer's saber. "I'm coming." Lerial walks from the shadows cast by the 3 upper levels of the palace and into the sunlight, a brightness whose intensity always seems to surprise him. He can feel the fine grit under the soles of his boots, grit that is everywhere, no matter how often the rough courtyard tiles are swept. Lephi, of course, stands with his back to the sun. Lerial takes a position with the brilliant white sun to his left and motions with his wand for Lephi to move to a point directly across the circle marked in red and black tiles. "You can't do that in battle," observes Lephi. "No, but I can choose to fight or not and take a position." "Not always." Lerial just waits for Lephi to move or attack. After several moments, Lephi moves, taking a position directly across from his younger brother. Lerial sets his feet, lifts his blade, and concentrates on Lephi and his brother's wand. Lephi half turns, starts to do what looks to be a thrust, but Lerial knows the movement is a feint, because his brother's feet do not move, nor does he shift his weight. Instead of trying to block a thrust that will not come, Lerial merely holds his guard. Then Lephi suddenly drops and brings his wand up, and Lerial barely can beat down the thrust and has to move to the side.